In the next topic, we will look at methods of project evaluation, and we will determine that the most accurate and reliable method of project evaluation in most circumstances is net present value. This requires us to discount future cash flows from a project using an appropriate discount rate. The discount rate should be the firm's cost of capital. In order to carry out its investment activities, the firm needs to raise capital from investors, debt holders and equity holders. It needs to pay those investors for the right to use their money. The cost of capital is the cost that the firm has to pay to the providers of capital for the use of their money.
An important concept in calculating the cost of capital is the firm's capital structure. If we consider this simple balance sheet that we've looked at in previous topics, everything on the right-hand side of the balance sheet, debt and equity, constitutes the capital structure of the firm. Because we need a single number that represents the cost of capital to use as a discount rate in calculating the NPV of a project, we need to distinguish between a simple average and a weighted average. A simple average, we sum the values and divide by the number of values that there are. With a weighted average, we weight each value by the significance of its contribution to the average that is being estimated. When it comes to calculating the weighted average cost of capital, the weights that we will use are the proportion that each source of capital represents in the firm's capital structure. In order to calculate the weighted average cost of capital, we need to know the value of each source of capital so that we can determine its weighting within the overall capital structure. There are two different kinds of values that we could use. The first of them is the book value, which is the historical cost of the debt and equity securities that are shown on the balance sheet. Or we could use market value, which is the current value of those securities that investors would be prepared to pay for them. Since we're going to use the weighted average cost of capital to make decisions about the future, the cost of each source of capital in the capital structure is the rate of return that the providers of capital require, and that will be based on the current market value of those securities. So whenever possible, we should always be using market values in calculating the weighted average cost of capital. If market values are not available, sometimes book value is the best that we have available.